The Lone Star State stepping up its push for enhanced border security, planning to deploy armored military vehicles to 10 locations along the border. Now, this comes days after Governor Greg Abbott invoked the invasion clause of his state's constitution. But why now? Let's ask former acting DHS Deputy Secretary Ken Cuccinelli. Ken, great to see you this morning. Let's start with. Good morning, Will. Let's start with the news from earlier this week. I'm going to read a bit from Governor Abbott's letter, and let me get your reaction to what he had to say at that time, and then we'll get to his follow-up actions. The letter said the following to President Biden: "Your silence in the face of our repeated pleas are deafening. Your refusal to even visit the border to look firsthand at the chaos you have caused is damning. Your open border policies, which have catalyzed an unprecedented crisis of illegal immigration, are the sole cause of Texas having to invoke our constitutional authority to defend ourselves." This letter went on to say, Ken, as you and I both have noticed, that Texas will deport illegal immigrants to the border. Tell me your reaction.
Well, to the border is not deporting. And understand, deport is an immigration word. Just to be clear, this isn't immigration law. Texas has the authority under the Constitution to protect itself, its sovereignty, and its borders when it is invaded. Well, Governor Abbott has acknowledged that Texas is being invaded. He's acknowledged the Constitution gives them the ability to protect themselves. And this is a war power. That's awkward wording, but that's what the founders put in the Constitution. And the key isn't force, not tanks and planes. The key is being able to stop people and turn them around and put them back into Mexico. But he said to the border. And the border in Texas is the middle of the Rio Grande, and nobody is going to drop people in the middle of the river. They have to cross the river, put them back into Mexico, and do it at scale so they actually slow the flow of people crossing their border illegally, or this will be as meaningless as 18 months of Operation Lone Star. You look back at Operation Lone Star, he's been doing it for 18 months. They've spent $4 billion. And the flow of illegal entrants has gone up, not down, up. So this is the one step. Right. He clearly acknowledges he has the constitutional authority, but he's not doing the one thing that will slow the flow,
which is to remove illegal immigrants across back to the Mexican side of the border. So your argument, Ken, is while he is using the correct wording in declaring an invasion, he is not executing the actions that power would imbue the state of Texas. Does anything, and this is the question I wanted to follow up secondarily with you, does anything since that announcement convince you, because we just mentioned he's going to deploy these armored trucks to the border, is there anything since the declaration of invasion that suggests, well, his actions will actually live up to hopefully your expectations and the power of declaring an invasion?
No, and the word I get sort of back channel from the DPS, which is their state police, is that nothing has changed. This is another press effort, another photo op by Governor Abbott, and that comes from people who are determined not to do it. The leadership of DPS, Steve McCraw in particular, does not want to do this. As long as Steve McCraw is there, Greg Abbott is probably not going to actually move.
Do you know why that is,
Ken?
Mexico. Why do Texas DPS not want this power?
He just vehemently opposes it. And we learned in the Trump administration, when people on your own team oppose the policy, guess what? It finds a way not to work.
Right.
So when we hope Governor Abbott becomes serious about this, Texas could make a big dent in the flow from Mexico, but so far he hasn't done that.
Well, Ken, I always appreciate your perspective and highlighting what it's important to understand what people's words mean and what that then means for our policy and our execution and our actions. And I appreciate you focusing on that this morning, Ken. I've paid attention to what you've had to say throughout the week, and we appreciate you doing it.
Good to be with you, Will.
All right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.